Feels like my foot's a lot more connected to the skate and just feels comfortable.
What's going on, guys? Kyle Jacobs here today with BAUER Hockey. We're actually on site at the BAUER Combine, and today we'll be walking through the BAUER FitLab with our NHL athletes. FitLab is not just a scan, it's all about building performance. Our players are gonna walk through here, they're gonna get scanned, we're gonna get some new information about underfoot reading in addition to 3D measurements, and then we're gonna build all of that together with our orthotics, socks, holders, and steel, and get those guys on the ice, ready to go. So let's take a quick walk through what's going on here. So as you can see, it's a simple 4-step process. We're gonna start with scanning right here on the device. We're gonna do some analysis up on the screen here, and then we're gonna round it out, transition to our build table. This is where we're gonna combine all of our pieces, talk about the pieces of performance, and then our athletes will sit down, try everything on, get it all squared away, and then we'll get them out to the ice to make sure that they're perfectly tuned and ready to go. And if you just plug in first name, last name there, and once that's all set, you can go ahead. So just hold that kind of naturally there. We're gonna start that scan. First half's gonna capture all of your 3D measurements, so things like length, width, instep height, and then the second half's all that new data for us, the pressure test. So you'll see your foot map show up there. This is showing us how your foot's interacting with the ground, some of the gaps underneath with your arches. And then once that's completed, you're actually gonna step over to me. And once I hit the start button, you're gonna walk across the scanner here, and you're gonna plant with your left foot. Perfect. And then your right foot. Perfect. So that's just gonna show us how your foot interacts with the ground during different weight movements, so from heel to toe. So you can see kind of your 3D image here of your feet. It's gonna give us a fit recommendation. One thing I always tell people is that it's a recommendation based off of your physical measurements, but not actually your fit preference. Okay. So if you prefer something a little tighter, a little looser, we make that accommodation in the fitting aspect. So we got the tabs on the left-hand side that just give us finer tune measurements we can look at. So interesting enough, difference between your left and right is about a half size. Perfect, that's why we got you in custom skates, so we can fit the left and the right independently. But all the newness for us is understanding pressure and how your weight is kind of hitting the ground. Now, if I was to ask you, where do you think your high areas of pressure are in your foot? Where would you say?
Probably the red.
Probably the red, exactly. So we highlight those to make sure that we're accommodating that area of your foot. Now, based off of your interaction here, it's gonna recommend you one of 3 options for the orthotic piece. Okay. So our goal is to bring the ground up, but also support you from, they call it just a neutral plane. Okay. If I click on this one here, so what we want to do is make sure that you're not kind of bending inwards or pronating is the correct term. We want to keep you more neutral, so that right image where it's just more vertical. That should give you better efficiency and better control of your blade.
And those orthotics are new, right?
They are brand new, yeah. So we'll grab you a Fit A here to address your higher pressure areas. And then we're also going to give you posting on that as well. So you shouldn't have that pronation or that kind of rolling of your ankle there. You should just feel more neutral. That'll help you get to your inside and outside edges. So with orthotics, you can see kind of the pressure relief there. Oh, yeah. That's what we want to do by dispersing and supporting.
This is a great idea. Like and especially that right there, like it shows you exactly where your pressure is. When you first do this, you feel so much different on the ice. Because I had my whole life I had worn these, and then 2 years ago I moved over to these orthotics, and it takes a while to get used to them. Like you were saying, the edge part of it, like for me, I feel so much better on my edges, just being able to hold an edge or being able to go from inside to outside, or there's just less room in your skate, right?
The other thing we want to do is help fill this gap right here. So this is where your foot's not touching the ground. So if I'm going to draw a line here to help mimic where your blade is, I'm not an art major, so I'm gonna do my best. Where would you say most of your weight sits in terms of your edges? Are they on the outside?
The outside.
Exactly. So for us, we wanna bring the ground up and fill this gap right through here. What that's gonna do for you is help eliminate what we would call an inefficient movement. So if you're trying to shift to your inside edge, what your foot has to do is it has to collapse first into that skate, right? Because this is your only contact spot is up here and back here. So we want to fill that gap, bring the ground up so that as you're transitioning, you should get more immediate response to your skate. I'm not going to make you a faster skater, but you should have better blade control, essentially.
Whatever you can do, I need it.
I'll show you the gate too. So this is how your foot's interacting with the ground as you're walking. So as your weight shifts from your heels to your toes, right, when we're on the ice, we're not static in one position. Interesting enough, when we get here, so look at all that gap right underneath your foot here. So that's all focused on your heel and then jumps right to your forefoot. We want to help support this area here. Anything that's not touching, we want to bring that up for you.
Yeah.
All that weight's going to go into your outside edges. We want to be able to give you that kind of neutral plane so you can control both inside and outside edges more efficiently. So we'll transition over this way here. See. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the orthotic in one skate for you, and then leave just the generic one in there so you can feel the difference.
All right.
This is what's coming standard in there.
Oh yeah.
Little bit, just a little bit of coverage. This is completely designed for your foot. So based off of your scan, how your foot reacts with the ground. So what you should notice is a lot more arch support.
Stable.
And you shouldn't,
Yeah.
essentially, so as your foot's kind of rocking, that's what your blade is moving. We don't want your foot to move inside the skate where your blade does.
Yeah.
That to us is inefficient. New skate,
I'm so bad at going into new skates.
hopefully this will make it a little bit easier with the
Yeah,
orthotic.
like Jack and like March or so, they're like new skates every game, every practice. I'm like 3 months, they're
Yeah.
chirping me.
So I'd like you to try them, again, lace them up. You're gonna stand in them a little bit.
Yeah, this one's so flat.
Exactly.
Just overall, when I put my foot in it, this one there's a lot more room. My foot feels a lot more locked in, and there's a lot less space.
I feel more stable, I think.
Feels like this skate fits my foot better than this one.
Those 10 years in between, because this guy launched in 23, was all about performance. So if you're grabbing those and trying to twist the two posts there, now it's got a little bit of give to it, right? Yeah. Now do the same thing here. So what do you notice? Yep. So what we did was we basically said, okay, we need to take this concept and apply more performance benefits to it. We want our players to be faster, have better edge control. What does that look like? You've got power flies on there already. Yeah. What we've noticed is guys that transfer into this, they don't necessarily notice a difference right away. When they go back to this, that's when they're like, oh, that's what I'm missing. Right? It's got a little bit more give. So
I noticed it right away. I like the stiffness on the front.
Yep.
Because now I'm excited to try them out.
I'll bring these down to the locker room and put them in your stall so you're ready to go when we get you out on the ice.
New skates, new everything, huh? I got the orthotics in, so same. Maybe I'm gonna be a better skater today. Who knows? All the boys are coming out now.
Oh, you got the tongue for it, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna chirp Maddie about it. He doesn't have good style right now. Maddie, back talk.
I was just gonna say it feels weird. I think when you're skating, you kind of get a better feel of your edges and stuff. It feels like my whole foot is on the ice instead of just like half of my foot.
Perfect.
Yeah. Feels good.
No, I definitely feel like I'm more, my weight's distributed more evenly, which is perfect. And before just wearing a standard insole, I feel like these are more performance driven to the individual, I'd say.
That's the whole goal, right?
Yeah.
More comfort, better support, should lead to better performance and better blade manipulation.
No, they feel good.
Awesome, thank you.
Feels like my foot's a lot more connected to the skate and just feels comfortable.
I really like it.
Every movement feels purposeful, like you're not trying to fall
Yeah.
into the skate first. You can easily transition to edges.
Yeah, just even doing like a couple turns, it felt so nice. Like
That's
I
awesome.
just feel more connected. So yeah, it's really
Awesome.
good.
I appreciate it. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thank you.
Thanks for trying them. Matt, what are we feeling?
Feel good. The skate feels great.
Okay.
More comfort. I love it.
Love it.
I love these
Yeah.
actually, yeah. Because the skate just feels tighter.
They feel a lot more like my skates in a weird way. Feel a lot more, like you said, custom and fit perfectly for me. I like it a lot.
Now you've seen how we fit the pros. To get the same experience, visit BAUER.com/FitLab for our dealer locator to find a FitLab near you.